Welcome back to the Antler Queens. I'm Kelly Ooh La La Keen.
I'm Jazz Victor Gang Kavanaugh Schmanek.
And I'm Dawn Atkins, Diet Activated Glen.
And we're back for another retrospective from episode. Today we're talking about from season 3, episode 1, Shatter, which I think is a clever title.
Because it's what it does to your soul.
Boyd was right. They can't break him, but they can shatter him.
I was so mad I had to watch this episode again.
I was going to say, it's like the shatterproof rulers you used to get at school, and everybody went, they're not shatterproof, snap in half. So that's what they did to Boyd.
I did not watch the very end this time. I turned it off as soon as I heard Cowboy start talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, nope, don't need to see the rest.
I finished it against my will, but I'm really glad I did because I noticed something new at the very end that I wanted to talk about.
Ooh, exciting.
Okay. All right.
I like that.
All right. Well, Dawn, you're starting us off today. So let's start with you. Who are you giving your pancakes to?
It's another episode where everybody's really good, so it's hard to decide. But in this one, it's going to be Tabitha because she's in a whole new world. No, I don't want to get sued by Disney. She doesn't know where she is, and she equips herself very well with thinking logically, doing the right thing, calling her mother, finding where Victor lives. So well done, Tabitha, for not just ending up in a corner crying, which is what I would be like. Oh! So I think she did really well considering her situation.
That was very smart of her to get the hell out of that hospital.
Yes.
She would have been in serious shit. They'd want to know where she was. She would have to fake amnesia.
Even identified her.
I was going to say, as soon as they looked at her, the lunchbox, and saw Victor's lunchbox, they would have a whole lot of questions for her about that. So,
like missing kids' lunchbox. Where's your family?
Yes. The rest of your family's missing. Where the fuck? What did you do with them?
Lunchbox.
That's a good choice. I'm giving my pancakes to Victor because goddamn Victor going feral. Jesus.
Gang.
Jim roughed him up, and he didn't even point the gun at him seriously. He was just backing up, and he was just like, I don't want to use this to protect myself, but I'm going to point it at you and make you think I will very badly. But with Randall, he was just like, fuck you, man.
Hands off the goat.
I'm going to make you eat some lead.
Out of his pocket.
He was all business. That was a different side of Victor that we saw. Yeah, he gets my pancakes. What about you, Jazz?
Fed up with Randall. My pancakes are going to Tian Chen because I love her. She is one of my favorite characters. Doing this retrospective, it actually really surprised me how little screen time she had. Because in my mind, she is such a vital character and I care for her so much, and her death affected me so much. I absolutely sobbed through that entire second episode the first time, and every time I've watched it. Her choice to help Boyd and try to protect the kids, and she died a hero. She died saving everyone, and she spent all of her time in town serving others and taking care of other people, and she died saving other people, and she was incredibly brave. And I really am sad that she's off the show. I hope she gets to come back as a ghost soon.
Me too. I read an interview with David Alpay recently, and I could not find it again. So if anybody listening or watching this finds the link, please link it in our comments. But it almost sounded like they put they kind of mixed their storylines just because they hit it off really well off screen and just sort of gravitated to each other. So I think that had a lot to do with it. They were really close off screen.
I love that.
I do too. Remember, guys, don't forget, we've got an interview with Elizabeth Moy to check out from last season if you haven't. Let's and
It's
we are
pretty darn
also
good.
it was great.
Just-
She was a delight. We interviewed her and Hannah Cherami last season, who plays Julie. And we have one cast member booked already. I will not say who it is yet, but we do have one in the books. Let's go to our top fives. Dawn, what's your number 5?
Number 5 is Tabitha phoning her mum. I love that. That she's a grown woman, but like most people, that's still here. I want my mum. And that she was so clear of mind not to reveal anything to her mum, but to just say, look, I just want you to know I'm alive and we're all alive, we're all okay, don't worry about it. I thought that was a lovely touch, because they could have just focused on the plot of her being there following the boy in white and the real of Victor's family home. But I thought that was a nice touch to do something that felt very real and that you would immediately want to make contact with your family. Although I say it real, but who in this day and age has anybody's phone number memorized?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. What movie did I just saw where that was a thing, where someone was like, do you need to call your, because they had a babysitter. Oh, it was Sweetheart Run. The movie I keep talking about. She got away and she needed to call her babysitter, and she ran into some women, and the woman's like, what's your babysitter's number? I'll call her for you. And she's like, shit, I don't know, it's in my phone. I had that on my list too, a little bit higher, Tabitha calling her mom, but I'll make that my number 5 as well. It was just, first of all, it was cool to get the presence of another family member, and I was so glad that her mother had an appropriate accent so that people remembered that these are immigrants and Tabitha is not. Catalina Santina Moreno is not faking an accent. So stop saying that, people. But it was nice to hear her mom's voice, and it was really sweet that she called her. And like you said, Dawn, it was smart of her to realize that there was nothing she could really tell her.
No.
And I love that she said, I just wanted to hear your voice and I wanted you to hear mine. I loved that. I liked that a lot. Jazz, what about you? What's your number 5?
I also had it higher, and I'm putting it down so we can just have one conversation. I thought that scene was so awesome. It was so beautiful. I really like the way it starts with her approaching the teens, and the young Black woman is willing to help her and her friend is not.
I noticed that.
I was like, that's my experience. I would help Tabitha if I were that teen girl in that situation. This woman is clearly needs some form of help, and she's asking to use a phone. It's not like she's just going to run away with it. It's a crowded place. And I also liked that they kept the other girl whispering, why did you do that in the audio?
You need to disinfect your phone.
Right? I thought that was very funny. Just a little quick toss-in joke in this very serious scene. But Catalina's performance is so beautiful. It's just so powerful, and I was getting choked up watching it just last night when I was rewatching it for this. Great, excellent scene.
Very good. Dawn, what's your number 4?
I'm looking at my top 5 and it's like Tabitha. So I apologize. But a scene with the priest, I really loved that they had her go to church and speak to a priest, because we had Father Cattray. I love that connection back to him, and the way that the priest treats her is really interesting, because when she tries to run out and he stops her, but he's trying to engage in her about the lunchbox. I love that he's so perceptive to pick up, you have other children, and because of him questioning her, she finds the address, and that's how she knows that she's very close to Victor's home. I thought there was so many things they could have done with Tabitha being out in the world. The idea that if she'd crossed paths with the police, how bad it could have gone, but that it was a priest that set her on her way, with the whole thing with this show and Catholicism with good and bad, evil. It was a really interesting choice that it's a priest who helps her at that point.
For sure. By the way, guys, before I go into my number 4, I just want to mention, because I didn't do this earlier, We are recording 301 on April. Oh, it's April 12th, right?
Yeah,
April 12th. We already recorded 301 coverage back in December. So the episodes following this, you're going to see like stuff in the background.
And we'll all look a little different.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you a warning about that since you won't get it in those episodes.
I look real different.
Yeah, notice there's like a little gingerbread man on one of the videos. And yeah, number 4 is, this seems like such a tiny thing, but it means so much to me as such a fan of the character that Jade knew Ginger's name.
Oh, yes!
He knew the cow's
That's
name.
very
I love
sweet.
that. Yeah. And hanging out with the animals in his spare time. Yes. In between bouts of going crazy. I just hope he wasn't terrorizing them.
He probably went in and talked to them because he like appreciates me, but you do.
Yeah.
You listen without, and they don't interrupt him.
He's like, almost some whiskey.
You just like out there naked holding 2 chickens. Like, you guys get it.
Arranging the animals in the shape of a symbol. Reorient my perspective.
Oh, that's a good one.
While naked and doing this while naked and holding chickens.
Of course.
Dead.
Dear fan artists, please can someone draw that?
Yeah.
Good
Oh
lord.
my god. Jazz, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is the Ethan and Boyd scene. It's such a gut punch.
Yeah.
I almost put it in my bottoms, but it's so well acted. It's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
And we were talking yesterday about how Ethan is just very comfortable with death at this point. He's pretty jaded. He's getting a little emo.
Yeah.
Probably start a little tiny like jeans band any day now. But the acting between those two, they haven't had a ton of screen time together. And they are just so great. People have criticized Simon Webster's performance for the whole run of the show, but
yeah, I
thought that scene was flawless. I think I've always enjoyed him. I think he's a great actor, but he really held against Harold Perrineau in that scene, and he says his little thing about Alma doesn't have to watch her friends die, and Boyd is so shook. He's like heart and rocking. It's like a really powerful scene for just such a quick little snippet. It's even not even a full scene. It's the tail end of the argument that he's having with Tian Chen and Donna when Ethan runs in on them.
Yeah,
it's a great scene, and I thought Simon Webster was like one of his best scenes of the series so far.
I agree. Dawn, what's your number 3?
Tian Boyd, when they're all in the kitchen talking about the food situation, and I love that Tian is the voice of reason and says, we'll grow crops in different places, we'll use different crops, smaller batches, different soil, we'll do something. I love that we have that scene with them before what happens at the end. Tian Chen is being so level-headed and so practical. She's always been the practical person, one that runs the store for that reason in the diner. And in that scene where everybody's, Dawn is stressed and Boyd's stressed, and they're, but she's just factual. That's the way it is. And how well that sort of sets up the dynamic, that you're reminded of the dynamic that she has with Boyd when we go into that end scene, and that she's no longer the one there saying, don't worry, it's going to be okay. It's the opposite. He's saying to her, "You're okay." It just makes me want to cry just speaking about it.
Made sure to watch this one last night instead of today because I struggled bust through the whole thing.
Yeah. I could not bring myself to watch the very end. As soon as I heard Cowboy's voice, I was like, nope, I'm out. I know what happens in the rest of this. I hate to follow that up with something silly, but
Albury.
My number 3, I originally thought that this might go in the bottoms list, but it's in the tops because it just found it so funny. So they're in Camden, Maine, or Tabitha's supposed to be in Camden, Maine, but the crepes place that she goes into says "ooh la la a" on the wall.
And it's
Huge.
subtle.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe have like covered up a little bit.
Yeah, classic Maine saying.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I found that really amusing. Jazz, what about you?
My number 3 is a tie. It's all reveals. The first one is the lunchbox reveal with Tabitha. First of all, how fucking cute it is that Victor packed her all these little snacks, and like I love that. It's super cute, but I love that that was the next clue that moved her story forward. And the casting of Robert Joy as Victor's dad is so impeccable. I know people say that they look like they're the same age, but people are just stupid.
Yeah. Okay, Scott McCord is in his 50s. It's
They're
very
exactly
obvious.
20 years apart, or even 20 years older than him.
It is very obvious to me, as an older woman who has worn makeup my entire life, that they know how to do makeup for myself, for my age, so that I don't look cakey. They deliberately make Victor look cakey on the show. They put a shit ton of makeup on him. Yeah. Past a certain age, makeup just settles into your lines. And if you do a shit ton of makeup on someone in their 40s or 50s, it's going to make them look older.
It's on purpose.
John
McCord is a healthy looking fella. And you have to consider the fact that Victor has been living for 40 years with no dental care, no vitamins, he's eating peaches, much exclusively. He
doesn't know how to cut his own hair. He doesn't know how to cut his own hair properly.
Sunscreen, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was the first half of my number, and the other reveal was the reveal of the settlement. Settlement. It was just so cool. It's creepy. The dolls are terrifying. I love that there's more usable world for the characters to access, and it's just so neat. It's very. I really appreciate the effort that was gone into building that set, and real cool. I enjoyed getting to see it again, like first time.
Number 2, right?
Yeah, it's the fact that how they created the place where Tabitha wakes up. First of all, the fact that the first thing she sees when she looks out the window is a harbour full of boats.
Yeah,
which shows to her, you can leave this place because there's boats. It's symbolic of the fact the world is out there. There's space and travel and people are coming and going. But also, that I didn't say this the first time we recorded, I only noticed it on this watch, is that they have essentially created the town again, because she, in the hospital, which is the equivalent of the clinic, she goes into a cafe, which is like a diner. She goes into the church, like their church. And when she speaks to the teenage girls, when she borrows their phone, they're at a vintage pop-up. It's like being in the stores, all this old clothes to choose from. And it was only this time watching it, I was like, oh yeah, just like the store. It's like everything from the town, but only nice and clean and modern. Love that it's familiar but not familiar to her, and it's a reminder of how the town has taken all these things that are real and vibrant and living and twisted them into something dark and frightening. And the harbour, I noticed that that's also what Ethan is doing in his jigsaw. It's a harbour as well on his jigsaw. So that connection of the two, I just love when they do things like that. I love that attention to detail.
I found it interesting that the doctor's name was Dr. Brody. I was looking for, I was paying so much attention to the hospital because I was obsessed with the color scheme, that it matched the color scheme of the show. And I just looked up the meaning of the name Brody, and it means a risky stunt or leap. So I found that
Yeah, that's cool.
But another interesting thing about that actress, she's not an actual doctor. She's an actor. Or maybe she is. I don't know. But I mean, Van Lanschut is a nurse. But I was watching Sullivan's Crossing, and there was a shoot in Halifax. And there were quite a few scenes at that same hospital. And that woman plays a doctor with a different name. She's not Dr. Brody. But I found that quite amusing.
She was just hanging out in the hospital. Went, do you want to be in another show while you're here?
Canadian acting pool is small.
Yeah, I'm getting that. Just to add on to what you were saying, Dawn, she was being guided by the town the whole way. She followed the boy in white, and when she came out of that shop, the church was right there, and the church bells rang.
Yeah.
Everything that happened was, you might not have been back in Fromville, but Fromville definitely followed her into the town. It's completely guiding every interaction that happened. So I found that really interesting. And I think that's why they had the same color scheme. You know, the coloring matched up, because it was still, it wasn't part of Fromville, which is what I was convinced it would be. I was like the back room. She just like went into another level. I did see that trailer, by the way. So I'm super excited. But yeah, it's level of the back rooms, but not exactly. Not kind of, but not really. I mean, my number 2 just goes right along with that, is that it was so wild to see Tabitha in the real world, and then to find Victor's father. It was so cool. It was such an awesome reveal.
Yeah.
And a cliffhanger, because like wanted to see how all of this was going to unfold with them. But yeah, it was a great episode. A great way to leave the episode. Good. Yeah. What about you? What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Victor gracefully and excitedly pulling his gun on Randall. So it came so smoothly out of his pocket. He was ready. Yep. I'm so sick of Randall. I know this is like the beginning of his turnaround, but season 2 he is just really difficult. Yeah. I really did not like him, and yeah, hard to shake that, even knowing what's coming and that he is, please. But can you show my meme?
Oh yeah,
meme from the whole run last season.
For anybody listening to this, it's top and bottom shot of that scene where he pulls the gun on Randall, and the top shot is Randall trying to tackle Victor, and it says call the ambulance, and then the bottom shot is Victor pointing the gun at Randall. It says, but not for me.
I stole it off Ricky Key's Instagram.
Love it.
Yeah, killed me.
Oh man.
My number 1 is the Henry reveal. I loved it. See it coming, but also the surprise, not just the surprise of is Victor's father, but the surprise in your mind that you have not really ever thought about the people they've left behind. Obviously, we have Marielle turn up, but nobody's really watching, thinking about their family like Tabitha's mother. And so to see someone who is so vital to Victor's life, I've never even given his father 2 thoughts. Did he exist? Was he dead? Not a clue. And so then to have him and think about what he's gone through, and we see him carrying bottles of beer, that obviously he's a lonely, sad man who's gone through something really traumatic, and the way he said, I'm not having this today, I've not enough. That obviously he's gone through 40 years of being harassed about his family.
There's no way people don't think he killed his family.
Yeah, never leaves you. He's stayed living in the same house. He's never moved on, literally or emotionally. He's still there. And to see an instant reminder of that with her having the lunchbox must just blow his mind. It's just such a clever, the way that it's built up, that you don't expect that's what she'll find. You don't expect it to be his dad, and you also don't expect, he doesn't expect anything ever to come of his family of answers, and here he suddenly has this grown woman with his son's lunchbox. Just it's like an explosion of questions, opportunities that can go off of things that a fertile ground, although that's not what they've got in Tromville just now, a fertile ground of story to develop from it. Some big applause for coming up with that idea.
Yeah. It was great. I felt like the trailer kind of spoiled that he was Victor's father, just because it's analyzed every frame, and he paused on it. He had, I think, he had like line in the trailer, I think. He said, "I think you're here for what's in the basement." And like you freeze right there, you can see the pictures of Victor and Eloise on the wall as kids. So that trailer kind of set for me, which is why it was my number one. My number one was the reveal of the other settlement, because it saw those voodoo things in the trailer, but we didn't see much else. Like, we didn't know that they were going to find this whole other settlement area. It was kind of crazy. It was really cool. Yeah. Like this whole other thing open up, and it was too much for this to be in their heads. And plus, there were cabins that they could go into. There was nothing crazy happening around them. It was just this other settlement that they found. It was super exciting.
Wondering if that was like the original town.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yes, and that was their original talisman. Because I was trying to think what you call those heads on sticks, whatever you want, and I was like, the only word I could think of is talisman. They're a different kind of talisman.
Yeah.
Definitely meant for protection.
Yeah, for sure. What's your number one?
All right, hang on to your socks. So this watch through, I noticed in the final scene, and it is gruesome. It is hard to watch. I already almost cried just talking about how much I love Tin Chen at the beginning of this episode. But at the very end of the episode, it zooms in on Boyd's face, and he's like begging, talking to Tian Chen, and the screen fades to black. And at first, it's still, you're hearing Tian Chen screaming, you're hearing the monsters growling, but then, and the backing music, all the other sounds fade out, and it's just Boyd's voice begging. It fucking shook me. It just gave me chills. I was already all torn up because I hate this episode. I love this episode. It's an insanely good episode of television, but oh man, I hate watching it. It just breaks my heart that they killed off Tian Chen. I was pretty sure she was the one who was not going to make it when we got the trailer, just because of the size of the body that Boyd was carrying. But the way it happened, you think that they're safe, and then it's so brutal. And that those final few seconds of just Boyd's dialogue over black screen is so incredible. It was such a great choice. It made the episode just nail you in the heart. It really just capped off the ending so beautifully in the gruesomest, most terrible way possible.
Yeah.
like a perfect horror ending. I loved it.
I was thinking about the fade to black ending, and then you're hearing just Boyd's voice. It works on two levels. It works as a thing to do to the audience to make sure you're really focused on Boyd and the horror, and you don't immediately go into the theme music, so you have that black to sort of sit with the audience. But it also works in story because it's Chan Chen losing consciousness, and everything else is fading out but Boyd's voice.
Her is what goes quiet first.
Yes,
they slide out. Her voice slides out, then the monster sounds, and then the music, and then it's just Boyd. And that's like
just so clever that you have those two levels. How much it resonates.
You're bringing that up because I was like, I start talking about it, I'm gonna cry.
There are a few moments in television that come to mind when I think of something like that, and it's this one and that moment in Welcome to Derry when they're in the black spot and the lights go out.
Oh, yeah.
It just this long pause right after the lights go out, and it's like you feel like you're in there with them.
Yeah.
And there's another scene in Orange is the New Black that's like that. But it's terrible that it's like, comes to mind, but I can't remember exactly what it is. But it was the courtroom scene that I
man. One on Orange is the New Black for me. Sorry not to get off track, but it's the final season when Maritza is getting deported. And she didn't know she was an illegal immigrant. Her parents brought her and never got her paperwork done. And she gets deported, and she's sitting on the plane with all the other women who are getting deported, and they all disappear one at a time until she's the last one, and then she disappears.
Yeah.
Level for me. That fucked me up for weeks. Stop thinking about
that. Rough. No, you know what it was? It was when Tasty was on trial.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, where just all the sound drowned out and it just focused on her face. And yeah, it's been so long since I've watched that show that I
just rewatch it. Like, yeah.
Tasty Tasha Jefferson is one of my favorite characters from that show. She is just amazing.
The last couple seasons are like, I know everyone gave up after Poussey died, but
yeah,
they do some incredible storytelling and some like in storytelling in those last few seasons.
Yeah.
To get off topic.
That's all right. What did we recently see Porn Stash in?
Paris.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
He was the cameraman.
Yeah. Well, let's jump over to lost my little graphic here. From Multi Debate Team.
Thank goodness. Very important to me.
Yes.
All right. So for this episode, we decided to go with Randall versus everybody else, including Alma, regarding trying to murder Alma. Dawn will be the judge. I am once again defending Randall, and Jazz is defending Alma. So Jazz, why don't you go first since you've got the easier one?
Sure.
Hang on 2 seconds till I get my clock up. Okay. All right. Whenever you're ready, 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, I'm just a goat, but I think that if you kill and eat all of your food sources immediately, everyone's going to starve very soon. So maybe you should chill the fuck out and let the people who are in charge and keeping everyone alive ration the food, including choosing what to do with the animals, such as myself, Alma the goat, so that the food lasts longer than 3 days while you guys all depression eat yourselves into comas, and then no one has food to eat for the rest of the time that we're alive, which won't be long.
Fear.
I'm not gonna do Franny Frumville this time because this one made me too angry. Man,
you've got to put on the persona of Randall's lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Ready whenever you are.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So, Your Honor, my client was not trying to kill Alma. If you haven't noticed, he doesn't have any friends in the town. The guy just wanted a companion. It gets lonely on the bus. And he's okay with cleaning up after her because he already had to clean up 2 dead people whose guts were all over the place. So just, if he wants to take a little nibble every once in a while, the guy's starving. He just went through a rough patch with some cicadas. And I'm sure she would let him. He could, on her udders a little or something. I can't believe I just said that.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
Okay,
this is a family show.
Just dear
On my good Christian podcast.
Nibble on every once in a while, okay?
In front of my cat.
Oh, dear. I've just got a vision of Randall on the bus, and Alma's only got 3 legs because he's eaten one, and he's lying underneath her, drinking milk.
Let me watch this down. Oh my god.
This episode's taking a turn.
This one's off rails.
Yeah.
It's like in every 3 episodes we just descend into chaos. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to go for reasons of cleanliness. I'm gonna have to go with Jazzy on this one.
Oh man.
Don't want anyone sucking on anyone's udders. Thank you very much.
But I'm just imagining him chewing on Alma. Remember the live tweeting that happened when this episode aired? Liz Saunders was cracking me up. She's so funny. Her tweets were hilarious, but one of the ones that sticks in my head was she was during this whole thing. She was like, "Give the goat." Let's go to our box and our bottom fives. Dawn, who are you putting in the box this week?
It's going to be a crowded box because it's everybody that turned up to take the vegetables from Jen. We just did this like 2 weeks ago when the people on the bus arrived. Have you learned nothing? Just Tom died after that. Come on. What are you thinking? Have a little bit of memory and think, oh yeah, let's do this again. Stop
Let's
it.
not shove an old lady.
Yes, exactly.
So we can get a single jar of pickled vegetables.
Yeah.
I hope they all got diarrhea. Sorry, this show is off the rails.
You know what? I'm starting to think my defense for Randall should have been that he needed to push for eating the animals so they didn't eat him.
That's an argument.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, they got desperate enough. Dale and Randall are going to be on the menu.
Yeah.
Yellow jackets.
Yeah. Exactly.
Who's
Yeah.
in
It's about,
Sorry, go
it's
ahead.
something about the Canadian air just makes you start eating people.
Yeah.
I've heard that. Oh god, this episode's gonna be 2 hours long.
Like, this is how longer episodes usually are, and we're only halfway through.
No.
Into the box, I am adding, or into my box, I'm adding Randall. Sorry, I have a soft spot for goats, and you don't fuck with goats, man.
You don't have to apologize because he's still permanently in the box.
I can't put him in the box yet. We don't take him out until like through the season.
Yeah, he's still in there.
He's still in there. You're right, and he was my box person. So, Jess, why don't you go next?
Okay, because I have two. You can borrow one of mine.
Oh, okay.
Because I am putting both Jim and Nikki in the box
Yeah. Yes.
to introduce a character. Nikki sucks. She's a terror. How is there only one bathroom in Colony House?
Yeah, right.
How is there only one bathroom? How is there nowhere else for her to go? Explain that to me. We talked about this on the other show, but first of all, how are there people sleeping all on every surface, floor, couch, chair, but there's always an empty bedroom in Colony House?
Yes.
And it's always empty. It has like a bed and nothing. There's nobody's possessions in there. It's just empty. No one wants that. And
Right?
there's never there's only one bathroom. This makes no sense to me. Anyway, Nikki sucks. She's an awful person. Everyone knows morning sickness is terrible. And they're like in her face for having morning sickness and needing food for her baby. Like you.
Yeah.
Like great because it was effective, but yeah, it's never meant to be liked by the fandom for sure.
Yeah.
And then Jim,
Yeah. That's my next box choice too.
determined to orphan someone.
Yes.
You know, like he just had to. He couldn't resist.
Yeah.
He was not Jim, and I hate families. My children, or make someone else an orphan. And he sure. I can't believe that he did that. Of course he did because he's Jim, but he told Tabitha to go. He told her she could go. And then you're gonna leave? You're gonna leave your children alone in Murder Town, in Monsterville, with no parent, and you're gonna go out. Boyd tent got dragged by something bigger than it and heavy enough to drag a tent with two people, and they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Still haven't discovered that yet. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. You know, I'm putting Jim into the box for that reason. Love that he acted like it was some great revelation that is why Tabitha did this on her own. I mean, why do you think she went to you for permission, dude? Why do you think she asked for permission? Because she expected you to do something, you to take on the burden of watching after the kids by yourself in her absence. That's why she was, otherwise she would have just gone.
Yeah.
She probably would
She knew she might not come back at all.
Yeah.
She knew she might be gone for some time, and he agreed to it. And then she's gone for 3 days, and he's like, I gotta go orphan my kids.
Yeah. Now, aside, I do feel like Julie is almost 18, but I feel like somebody should have figured out an arrangement for them to stay somewhere, for them to stay in Colony House or something.
They're with Tian Chen.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
Alone, but
Yeah.
Still not her responsibility. And look what happened.
No.
Yeah.
Kenny, if he hadn't taken Kenny, that whole situation would have been completely different.
Yeah.
Both Kenny and Tian Chen would have been dead, maybe, but
Awful. Yeah, agree with Jim as a back choice. Let's go to our bottoms. Dawn, what's your number 5?
Exactly what Jazz was talking about. One toilet in Colony House. No one couldn't think of anything worse. All the horrors in Fromville. That's the one that frightens me. There's one toilet for like 6 people. What? I'm assuming they've all got potties under their beds for during the night. And when Nikki goes, oh, I'm just going to piss myself. I'm like, that land outside. Just go in a field, for goodness sake. It's not like it was the other end.
Yeah.
It's just a little tinkle. Then go visit the greenhouse, for goodness sake.
You can't hear her puking her guts out in there.
Yeah. Just no greater nightmare can I imagine than one toilet for many people.
Yeah. What I kept thinking, though, was that when you only have one bathroom, which, first of all, is crazy, but you would think that people would get used to just using the bathroom together.
Yeah, and it's a big bathroom. They could have had, like, a few buckets set up or something. It's a big room. Living.
Like, they could have peed in the bathtub while
if you're sitting on a couch and somebody's having sex literally right next to you, I'm pretty sure you can pee with somebody else.
Yeah.
I remember a party that Jim and I had many years ago before we were married, where he was drinking, and there was a photo that got shared with us the next day of someone sitting on the toilet, one of the guys peeing in our bathtub, and then somebody else passed out on the floor.
That was way less risque than I was expecting. Oh no, where is this going?
Where is this going?
Oh man. Yeah. We lived in a apartment in Chicago with one bathroom. But yeah, number 5 is did anybody notice? It really distracted me. Did anyone notice that Katri got a haircut?
Yes,
I found it extremely distracting. I'm not even joking. He looked great.
He did. It's a lot less than he's here today.
He looked very handsome, but I was so distracted by the fact that he looked different. But it works though for the show in a way, because it's still like how Boyd is imagining him. I'm still not sure how Fromville visions work.
Yeah, they say what you said. I can't tell you anything. I thought, I don't think he is entirely in his head. I think there's something else going on there.
Jazz, what's your number 5?
The scene with Randall trying to take Alma. Yeah. This is the other side of it. Randall shows up to get Alma, and there are all these people in the background holding baskets.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Are you just get a bloody chunk of goat home with you? People in this town don't all deserve to make it home.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Randall open up that goat right there on the driveway, and you rip off hunks. Like, what is the plan here? Why do we have empty white cloth lined baskets?
Yeah, she got it wrong. She doesn't have to save the kids. She needs to save the animals from Randall.
Lord.
Yes.
Dawn, what's your number 4?
Related to that, it is that in that scene that there's so many people that just stand around when anything's happening and there's a tussle. There's always just people that just stand here and watch everything happen. If there's a fight and there's a gun involved, at least scatter people.
Gotta just be nosy for entertainment.
Yeah, maybe we'll get shot. That'll be something interesting for this month.
Oh man. My number 4, it was more of a downer for the rewatch because it wasn't a downer watching it the first time. Just the scene in the diner with Penny and Christy and Tian Chen, and she was so worried about him, and he's just laughing it off. He's like, "It's gonna be fine. You guys worry too much." And oh my God, it was heartbreaking to watch.
Yeah,
heartbreaking, man. Jazz, what about you? What's your number 4?
I had that higher on my list, but yeah. The scene hurt me. It was not fun. She was so concerned for him. She packed him all this food, and he's so convinced she's safe because she's at home. She would, like, for what reason would she go running out into the... And not to give spoilers, but the whole time I just couldn't stop thinking about Kenny's face in the next episode when he finds out. And I was like, it was rough. That scene really hits hard on a rewatch.
Yeah.
They lost both of their mothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One came back, but
yeah.
That was super rough. Dawn, what's your number 3?
What I talked about in my bulk nomination is the people turning up to steal all the stuff from Aunt Jane's house. I'm just giving... Why are the people in Frontville so stupid?
I know.
Why do they have a goldfish memory and forget everything that happened a week ago? And I think they have a right to every... Like, you're going to do? You're going to hoard that jar of pickles or whatever, and then somebody else is going to come and steal it from you if you don't finish it in one go? What?
Yeah.
Just sit through. You get your portion and they get their portion and everybody's happy. But no, you want to hoard it all. Or what do they think is going to happen? Chan's going to eat it all. She's going to suddenly just sit and gorge herself and are delicious. I just, the fact that it was such a replay of that same scene at the diner and the bus turned up. I just,
What's that?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no. It's hard to watch. I actually did not have that in my list. But my number 3 is my son has not slept in 3 days. My poor, vulnerable son with his predatory ghoul girlfriend in 3 days, making him more vulnerable to his scary girlfriend's influence. And I'm very worried about him.
Yeah.
I want my son well taken care of. My son,
he's a struggle.
I didn't see that was going to be a dream at all. A lot of times you know clues that this is a dream, but I didn't guess that at all. I thought that was real. Tilly was acting very realistically.
I thought it was real at first.
That scene.
I was like, holy shit, she's really there. Oh, wait.
She looks scary.
Yeah. She said it so casually, too. She's like, ooh, she looks scary. Jazz, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is also the mob of dickheads showing up to rob Tin Chen. The thing that bothered me most was the woman screaming, "You have no right to hoard this food from us!" Does. Yeah. That's literally her job. She's been doing it the whole time.
Yes.
Also, I don't understand why they think all the food is gone. No one said that. The crops are bad. There's still food in the diner. There's still food in storage. They still have animals. Like, you wait a fucking hour so the grown-ups can make a plan to feed you like the little baby you are. No, you have to go push an elderly Asian woman and then steal all the contents of her basement, like jars of pickles. Cool, good job. Thanks, Roger.
Man.
That scene pissed me off, especially because she disrespected her.
Yes.
And then she passes in this episode, and she didn't have time to get them all back, which I think she would have.
I hope they're all destroyed with guilt when you're dead. Yeah. Made her last hours miserable.
This is before we knew Roger's name. I was pissed when I saw him at the front. I'm like, oh God, I didn't know I didn't like this character. Now I don't.
Like, that's his first appearance.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is. We get his name like a couple episodes later, a few episodes later after they go to the settlement. Yeah, that.
The old lady coming in the house. I didn't know that could happen. I thought if the talisman was there, they can't come in. What's happening? Obviously, I realised that when the seal is broken, so to speak, if the door's open, they'll come in. They're not like vampires; they don't need to be asked. But that was so creepy, and because it's Julie and Ethan, it very much feels like an old fairy tale. You know, a kid witch turning up at the door and she's got the headscarf on, and it just makes it all feel so much more evil. And you know, same creature that killed the little girl Megan at the start, so it's like child killing is her specialty. So I was like freaked out at that something was going to happen, but the old lady was going to kill them, so I was delighted that they escaped. Sorry,
the face she makes when she's coming through the door.
Yeah,
like, so,
that was terrifying.
Before she even turned a monster face, she's fucking terrifying.
Imagine the audition for that. Like, can play a really sweet grandma, but also evil killer. Yes, I can
kill people.
Don't you want to play?
Oh yes. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't want to play with you, lady. My number 2 was also really impressive in a horrific way. The death of Ginger.
Oh yes.
That was fucking rough. Oh my God. You never see animals die like that in TV shows or movies. It was brutal. I think they did for the same reason they didn't deliberately, for the same reason the monster didn't kill Jade. You just wanted to fuck up his head a little bit by doing this right in front of him and making this animal die this horrific death in front of him. Oh God, that was hard to watch.
It was like he was having a seizure. It was like, ugh.
Cow face, just a little bit. War is excellent.
I would love to get some screen caps of those moments just to see exactly what it looks like. Paused.
It's a little silly.
Jade had been slipping her whiskey earlier.
I wondered where that was going as well. Am I drunk?
Yeah, the cow was drunk. I'm assuming that was Ginger that died since Jade was.
Yeah.
What's your number 2?
It's that full ending sequence from the animals escaping through Tianchen passing away. It's not that I don't like it, I just hate it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. It's brilliantly done. Love that it really shows how fucking evil these monsters are. Like, really, I feel like the only people they were sincerely going after were Ethan and Julie.
Yeah.
I really feel like they were trying to get Ethan, especially in that moment. So, and then just whoever they could to lure into the barn to fuck with Boyd. Like, they were never planning to kill Boyd. That was all.
No, right.
It was all a ruse, obviously. But them sending Alma past the door because they know Ethan's little ass is going to run away. He immediately throws the door open. Just everything goes crazy. Fortunately, they get rescued by Sarah, which I thought was really cool. But why was she out there? Out there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hated losing Tianchen. It was, like, the writer's perspective, it was the right choice. Because it was impactful without sacrificing a ton of storytelling potential, unfortunately. But I hate it. I miss her a lot.
It's obviously one of those characters that was always supposed to die, but they did a great job of building her up and making the audience care about her. Unlike Walking Dead.
Amen, sister.
It's so deeply unfair. It's just it's hard. It's hard to process. And when you think about how little time has passed over the course of the show. It's been like weeks, and Kenny's lost both of his parents.
Yeah. Super rough. John, what's your number one?
Jim and his 12-hour delay parenting responsibility. I've got to go, it's so important. And then he's sitting in a cabin. Listen to what every single person was telling you. Your children need you. Their mother has gone. Stay with them. That's the most important and vital thing you can do.
Yeah.
And only then he goes, oh yeah, man, I'm far away and sitting in a cabin and nearly dead. Maybe then I think they're right. Like, Jim!
Oh, yeah, treat. Yeah, number one was just the death of Tian-Chen. It broke my heart.
Yeah.
And just Boyd talking to her at the end, just saying it again, like to memorize what she was saying. God. Oh, heartbreaking. Jazz, what about you?
Mine is also Jim. The decision is so fucking stupid. Ethan manages to run away twice in this episode. The first time was before he even left. And he's like, Ethan's running away. I better go. That's helpful to your child who already thinks his mother's dead. What the fuck is
right?
The fact that he had to drag Kenny away from everything where he could be helpful and potentially save his mom or prevent her from going out at all. He's got Kenny out in the middle of fucking woods, realizing that he never should have left. No shit. Everyone knew that. They all told you before you left.
Yeah. You know what? Something to think about, though. They've got food now.
That is true.
Monsters did them a solid, except other than killing Tian-Chen.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no balancing forces. There is something in the town that is trying to help.
Yes, definitely.
That's why the food shows up in the first place, I assume. Because I doubt the monsters care if the people are starving to death or not.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe they want them up with, or I don't know. But yeah, I feel like there was always going to be a solution to the food issue. Like they're just going to watch these people slowly starve to death. That would not be great TV.
Yeah. Now they gotta munch on Ginger now. Pea Ginger. Poor thing. You guys have anything else you want to bring up before we get out of here? All right. We will see you in the next one. Don't forget the next one's following this, like the next 7 following this, or the next 6 following this are going to be like when we recorded them in December. So we had planned on releasing them at the time and then decided to just do the whole series. So we may be talking about things in those episodes that are in the past. So I apologize if that gets confusing. We are actually, the next episode we're about to record is 308. So that's when we get back on track. And we will see you guys soon. Bye. Hey guys, what is up? I'm Kelly, not going to have a good time tonight, Keen.
I'm Jazzy, the game is rigged AF, shamanic.
And I'm Dawn, clean your room or no TV, Glenn.
And we are on episode 2 of our season 3 rewatch of From. And I don't know how, after season 3 was over, my favorites, I could have, if somebody asked me what my favorite episodes were, I would have immediately said episode 1, episode 4, episode 9, and episode 10. I forgot how good this one, episode 2 was.
It's so good. It's so good. I was saying that in our pre-show chatter. I haven't even touched From since we finished last season, just because we've had so much else to do. And man, this episode hit me like a ton of bricks. I watched it this morning. Ooh, every single performance is so good and so noteworthy, and just a beautiful exercise in grief from the entire cast. Really good.
Yeah, definitely. And
so emotive.
Yeah, it is. And I'll say more about this later on, but I just want to say I loved the writing for Ethan. Some of the weird shit that he was saying.
I it makes a lot of sense. He's so young and he's been through so much trauma, and he's already, even coming into the show, has already seen his little brother die.
I know.
Just having to process all that loss so quickly is gonna make you a weird little kid.
For sure.
Thankfully, he has a great dad to help him get through it.
Oh man. One of my favorite lines in the whole series will always be Donna asking Jim, "Are you some kind of moron?" Actually, I have "Is Jim some kind of moron?" written on my from chalkboard.
The answer is yes.
So we added a new segment called From Debate Club because there's a lot of moral dilemmas in this show, and we thought we'd have some fun with it. Do you guys want to go through our lists and then do debate club, or should we do debate club first?
I think we should do debate club last.
I think so too. All right. Well, let's go ahead. And this episode, by the way, is called When We Go. Great title. It, of course, is a callback to the episode where they all thought they were going home because they had the radio going. And Jade told Tian Chen that story about his grandmother and how she said, "They come with us when we go." Before we jump into it, I just wanted to say those two, Jade and Tian Chen, not to have this go into a different show, but their relationship, it's going to sound weird because it's obviously not a romantic thing, and I always shipped Carol and Daryl as romantic, so it's not like that. But their relationship reminded me a lot of Carol and Daryl with the whole Cherokee Rose thing.
Exactly.
Because she's the one who got through to him, and I always say that her bringing him the tea in the diner was one of the most important things that ever happened in the show.
Absolutely.
It was a launch pad. It was the catalyst for so much stuff that happened.
There's a song lyric that always made me think of Daryl and Carol in the early days, by a Scottish band called Hue and Cry, which is violently, "You came to me and said I could be a different man." And that always made me think, and it's the same with this.
I love that.
Yeah. All right. So I have ADHD and get really confused. So this week, why don't we have Dawn start with everything this week? I was mixing it up last week just to be different.
I gotcha. Let's do this.
All right. So Dawn, let's go to our who are you putting in the box this week, Dawn, for episode 2?
My LVP is related to what's going to happen later. Donna, how rude! I would never tell a woman to calm down, but calm down.
No, he couldn't.
What Boyd's just gone through. Just all right. Just give the man a break, for goodness sake.
Especially when she was just having a freak out laugh. Everyone needs to have a freak out from time to time. That's just a given in their situation. But she was just freaking out yesterday about running out of food. And then she's going to yell at him for trying to save their food? Come on, girl.
Right?
Exactly. So I thought it's in an episode which is so much where you're feeling for everyone, Kenny and Boyd and Kirsty and everyone. I was just like, the only person I'm not feeling for is Donna. Get it together.
Oh, man.
She won me back over with her Ethan scene.
For sure. Jazz, who are you putting in the box this week?
This is through no fault of her own. It's just because of how effing gross that scene is, but it's Fatima having to watch her eat that soft ass potato. I know in my head it's just like it's prop food, it's probably Oreos, but it looks so real. Like it looks and pulls like a rotten potato, and like I can smell it in my brain when she's eating it, and it makes me ill to think about. So sorry, girl, love you, but get your potato breath in that box.
It's more criticism on Fetus Smiley.
Definitely. It's not Fatima's fault that her breath smells like rotten potatoes, but
oh God. I wonder how much physical contact she and Ellis were having during this.
Right?
If he was making out with
I'm
her.
sure she's going upstairs and washing her mouth out with soap after because
Oh, yikes. So I don't care that it's not a person. The jukebox is going in the box.
That was truly its finest moment. All of them.
seriously.
I almost said put Cool and the Gang in the box, but no, Cool and the Gang is not going in the box. Cool and the Gang is innocent.
They're still cool.
But oh my god, it was a brilliant writing choice, though.
Yeah, absolutely. But that it's like
So
that.
cruel.
It's like the scene in The Simpsons where you can see the moment Ralph's heart breaks. This is you could actually sort of feel Kenny go oof. That music comes on. Ouch! That is the biggest slap in the face ever.
Oh my god, so good though. So good.
Well done, the devil DJ or whoever it is that turns that on.
happens so soon after you get to see Kenny coming back to town all proud and happy and I got food for everybody. I saved the day. And then immediately finds out that his mom is gone. Like, he's just getting punched in the face so many times so quickly.
By the way, did you notice Jim's face when he was like, Boyd had blood on him, and Jim was like, "Where are my kids?" And Boyd's kids are fine. And he just looked so relieved. And like, everything's cool now. It doesn't matter whose blood is on Boyd.
I don't care about anybody else. As long as my kids.
Oh man. I did, by the way, I did think Ian Bailey did a great job in these 2 episodes, though. I thought he was really
He's a great actor. Yeah. It's not on him that I hate him so much.
It's a compliment to him, to how well
he's a great actor.
Yeah, for sure. Dawn, who are you giving pancakes to?
I am giving a big stack of pancakes to Christy because I thought it was so good that she is helping. She's there for Kenny, and she's doing a really dirty job there with his mother's body, and she has her own grief to contend with. She was there, she has known this woman so long too, and she did. And then also the scene where she's standing by the pool with Boyd, and she's saying, "Hey, remember you told me this wasn't my fault. So were you lying?" I thought that was such a clever thing for her to think in that moment, to go rather than just go, no, it's fine. She gave him a logical reason to think, and I was like, that was really. She was holding everybody together, I thought, in this episode. Literally.
Kind of filling that Tian-Chen role.
Totally.
I don't think any character on any of the shows that we cover has gotten the MVP from us more than Christy. Christy's gotten it so many times from us.
She earns it. She's a doctor in the hellscape.
Can I tell you guys a really nasty theory that I have that I'm really hoping is not the case?
Please.
Christy has really just shown some amazing leadership skills, and she's very similar to Boyd in that sense. She's compassionate, and I'm worried that Boyd might not last the series, and she may take over. If that happens, I'm going to jump off my roof.
I think he will. I know a lot of shows like to do that. Oh, it seems like it's his story, but it's not a Sean Bean Game of Thrones kind of thing. But no, I think this is Boyd's story, and I think he'll make it to the very end. Whether he'll get out, I don't think so, but I think he'll make it to the end.
I hope so. I think it's gonna season 4, at least it's how it'll start out, I think is gonna be really rough for him, and that's not gonna be fun to watch. No. He's helped so many people, and I think a lot of people are just gonna not be very trusting of him. And it's gonna be rough, but I hope that they figure it out. Jazz, who are you giving pancakes to?
It was a really tough call. I'm giving a full-size stack of pancakes to Boyd just because I think this may be the performance of Harold Perrineu's career. It kills it in every scene that he is in this episode. The grief and the trauma and the need to remember this phrase in a language he doesn't know. Everything about Boyd's performance in this episode is fucking incredible. I've been saying this since our first episode. If they would just put the show on Netflix, they would be getting Emmy nominations.
Yeah.
It's insane that they this show should have won Emmys for the season. It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
And that performance particularly. But I also have to give a small stack of pancakes to Jade, because my favorite moment in the whole episode is when Christy comes in and he's just holding her Tian-Chen's hand, sitting there alone. I can't. I'm getting fucking. I'm clamped. It's killing me. This show's so good. I missed it. It's nice to be doing it again.
I honestly don't know if I've ever seen an acting performance as good as his in this episode. Just
the way he falls on Tian-Chen's body is just like.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell he pulled out of his ass, what kind of dark places he went to let that out there, but oh man, unbelievable. And seriously, I am giving a 30-foot tall stack of pancakes to be split between Boyd and Harold Perrineau. And Boyd, there are two scenes. I love when you see characters do really selfless things. And there are two most selfless scenes from any show that I've ever watched, in my opinion, are in Yellow Jackets, when Thaisa helps Shauna try to give herself an abortion. She just took on such a massive burden. And that, and Boyd all night long repeating that phrase, repeating it to himself. And just even having the idea to ask her in the first episode to say it again, and he just kept repeating it. Oh my God. He just, like, that moment, what he did for Kenny there was just beautiful. Oh my God. I'm like emotional talking.
I know.
Oh,
every scene is such a heart ripper.
I know. Boyd needs a girlfriend now.
I hope it's coming this season.
Hey,
he needs a ride or die.
Put him with Bacta. As far as we know, Bacta doesn't have anyone back home, but she's stuck in this town anyway, so she can.
I ship it. I said we need to hire Regina King. She's always a great no-nonsense girlfriend.
I could see that.
Keeping it in.
Boyd and Harold Perrineau get all of my pancakes. All right, let's go to our bottom 5. Dawn, what's your number 5?
Tabitha using the internet to prove anything. Now, I love the internet. I know to use it to prove things, but in this situation, I don't think it's ideal. Surely there was things that Victor has said that she could say to prove, yeah, remember this, he said that. The fact she's like, look on the internet, there's me.
I'm missing.
Yes, I am missing. There's the rest of my family, which I absolutely didn't murder.
They're not under my stairs.
That was funny because the rest of the stuff with Tabitha and Henry is so meant to be, and it all fits together, key pieces. But that bit, I was just like, you just went, nah.
Oh man! By the way, there was a continuity error in this episode. Do you guys remember? Dawn, you might not remember this because you started watching it more recently. But MGM put out a bunch of missing persons flyers with the characters on them, and it said that the Matthews were traveling from their home in Arizona toward to the Grand Canyon, and Tabitha said that they were going to Colorado. So there was a little bit of a continuity error, but no biggie.
The people that made the press clearly didn't watch the show. How often can we?
Yeah, exactly. Jazz, what's your number 5?
The moment Kenny finds out that his mom's gone, and it's not because it's a bad moment, because it's so beautifully acted, but it just hurts a lot. Ricky what a performance. Like I said this already 5 times on this episode, but every performance in this episode is incredible. And him just going from being so chipper and excited to do good and brought a solution to being so destroyed was just hard to watch. Yeah, it makes I just watched it right before we started, so I'm still bummed out.
Oh gosh.
Actively.
Yeah. No kidding.
It's such a good just it's an amazing scene, but it was physically painful, so I'm putting it in my bottom 5.
I hear ya. My number 5, actually, you know what? I do. I'm sorry. I thought I didn't have a number 5, but I added it because I remembered at the last second. I was just going to do 4 because I had such a hard time picking.
Me too.
No, my number 5 is both of these episodes 2 and 3. I've never had any criticisms about the writing, but both episodes 2 and 3 have one line that's just really wonky, and it almost sounds like some of the bad dialogue from Walking Dead. And that was when, in this episode, it was when Boyd and Jade were taking Tian Chan's body into the church, and Boyd said that they need to make sure that she's buried with her husband. That's what she would want. And Jade said she wouldn't. And everyone knows what he meant by that. She would rather be alive. But the way it just sounded so weird and clunky, it was a weird dialogue choice.
It was clunky.
Not a real serious criticism, but you had to put something in number 5.
I feel you. I struggled.
Dawn, what's your number 4?
I think that people are not reacting enough to Fatima because I'm like, I understand they want to be hopeful and they want to be happy, but look at the world they're in, and something is really, the fact that they're all just going, yeah, it's just morning sickness. I would be going, there's a big neon flag, neon sign going, hello, something's not right.
Someone who was told she was barren is eating evil potatoes.
Yep, eating evil potatoes.
I just thought, especially when in the scene when they go to the clinic, and I know that obviously a medical person is supposed to be comforting and reassuring, but I thought I even believe them and then go, something's really bad. Say it to camera at least.
Oh man, that's funny. Jazz, what's your number 4?
Having to see more of what happened to Tin Tian in the barn.
Oh,
I really thought when in the end of episode 1, what we saw was going to be it, because that was already so gruesome. And I'm glad they did bounce it. Like, it wasn't too much, but having to see any of it was too much for me. She's such a beloved character, and she's just so, like, it was so hard to watch. The fact that Boyd is even a functioning person and not just smashing his head into a wall, really admirable, because that would have driven a lot of people absolutely insane.
Oh, I know. How do you watch that and just not be completely traumatized for the rest of your life?
I thought it was so good that even though Jazz, I was like, I don't want to see this, but I love that it was realistic in the sense of when something bad happens and you play it over and over and you can't get your head off this groove. I thought they really depicted that so well. But
absolutely.
I know nothing about what you're talking about, Dawn. I don't know what you're talking about at all. I'm kidding. I'm being sarcastic.
The way they use it in the episode is brilliant. It is. Like, 100%. And the way that they show Boyd trying to cope with it is brilliant. But it's hard to see. It's real hard to see. We loved her a lot.
Yeah, seriously. And then when you think about the fact that, imagine Boyd having to watch this, right? Most people, no matter how much they love her and care for her, I think most people in that situation not to look at her, would not be able to watch this happen. And he deliberately told her to look at him. He never took his eyes off her. He wanted her to not feel alone as that horrible thing was happening to her. It's just so selfless.
Yeah, to be able to remove yourself, to compartmentalize your own brain and go, I need to be outside of myself right now and be with her and be who she needs. I'll deal with this later. What an amazing ability to be able to do that. And you could maybe understand it a bit more if he was a medical person who has to have people, especially nurses or people who are directly dealing with the person rather than the illness or the injury. They probably have experience of doing that. But oh, what a guy.
I know. Fun fact, we learned during our interview with Elizabeth Moy, which is on our channel, so feel free to go check that out if you haven't seen it. They actually wrote that part for her.
Oh, wow.
So that was kind of cool. Lovely woman. Really so sweet.
Absolutely wonderful.
It's my turn now, right?
Yes.
So my number 4 is this is actually not it's kind of a weird list item because it's not really about the show. It's about the fandom. And my God, the fucking theories that came out after this episode about Henry. Oh my God. Henry's abusive and why would Miranda be taking the kids to escape? I'm like, she wasn't escaping. She was probably picking them up from school, and that's why
taking them to school. They were literally coming home from school.
Oh my God. I thought they established it really well off the bat, how much he loved his family. And
everyone's just like, there's something evil about him.
Oh my God. Unbelievable.
He seems like a sweet old man. I don't know.
I love Henry.
Crazy.
I love Henry.
Although I was very anti-Tilly, so.
I love Tilly.
She was too happy to be inconvenienced.
I want to hang with Tilly. I think she'd be a lot of fun.
I like her more now. But I was still suspicious of her up until the moment. You even watched the episode where she passed before I did, and I was like, no, Tilly's coming. I can feel it in my bones. And you're like,
No, I would never confide in Tilly about anything because she's a little bit of a gossip and a shit stirrer, but she seems like she'd be fun. I'd hang out with her.
So many things with her bringing morphine to Marielle, and just her. There were so many things that happened with her where she was just conveniently had knowledge that made me feel suspicious, but
I think they were using her as a red herring.
Me too, because a lot of people felt that way.
Everybody did, even the cast had made comments to that effect. So I think they were just using her to throw people off. The writers are really good at doing that with the show. But for instance, I still think it's hilarious that there were so many videos made and threads made, and all anybody was talking about during the hiatus is who is in the barn. They were comparing screams, and then come to find out later that the scream was Kelly's from season 2. They loved it.
And you couldn't even, they color corrected it. So when they showed him holding her body, the color of her clothing was different than what it ended up being in the episode. So you couldn't even tell from that.
And it was just the tiniest little sliver of black that you saw too. People didn't even notice it, and they still color corrected it because she was wearing jeans. All right, Donna, what is your number 3? Donna, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Ellis. I feel a lot of Ellis is just wafting about in this episode. I was like, what's his point in being in these scenes? Obviously, I know he's supporting Fatima, but especially when he's basically saying, are you okay? Are you sure you're good to perform? What with you being a drug addict and everything?
Right.
Give her a break, dude. She's trying to help you with your unborn baby.
Her saying, I'm a pediatric nurse should have been the end of it.
Exactly.
That should have been the end of it. And he's like, I don't know. You are crazy.
That bugged me too.
When you ask so many questions that somebody says to you, hey, yes, I'm fine after being mind raped, then you've gone too far, Ellis.
Right.
So
I hope they give Ellis more of a storyline in season 4, because in the first couple seasons, I loved him because he was just like, he and Fatima were just so sweet and kind, and they really provided a bright spot in the show. But season 3 comes along and he really just doesn't do much.
No.
The fandom hates Ellis.
I
And
know.
it really bugs me out because I like
Oh.
him. And I think losing Ellis will just destroy Boyd.
I was
I
going to say
don't
that.
want to see that at all. I don't know. I really want them to give Ellis something important to do.
Yeah, too.
Other than get stabbed and fall down.
Seriously. He's had some bad luck in that town, man. And plus he's dealing with the fact that his wife got impregnated by somebody other than him. The town. First time a town has ever impregnated somebody.
Talk about polyamory.
By the way, Jazz, before you give your number 4, I have the same number 4. So
I'm 3.
I don't have anything to add about this one. So what's your number 4, Jess?
Number 3, right?
Oh, number 3. I'm sorry. Yeah.
My number 3 is we just said a little bit with my LVP, but watching Fatima eat those soft ass potatoes. Props to the food team for whatever they made, because I'm sure I'm just using my brain. It's probably just steamed ube potatoes rolled in Oreo dust, and that's what I keep trying to tell myself. But they look so much like rotten potatoes. And like, parts of me, there's a point in this episode where she's stuffing her face so fast, she shoves a big fistful of hair into her mouth. And then she's like, hair out and still eating the potato. And I was like,
oh my God.
So viscerally disgusting.
And to think that this isn't even close to the worst thing that she does.
I know. It's just the beginning. Just scratching the surface.
Oh,
poor Fatima, man.
I know. So I shared my number 3 already. Dawn, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Julie. Do you notice I always have to say it in the answer back at school? Repeat the question in the answer. My number 2 is Julie going to Sarah. I understand her going to apologize, but when she's essentially going to say to her, by the way, I don't want to be like you. Great, thanks. Well, the whole conversation was that. I thought, I get the sense that Julie was looking to sort of reach out to her, but she can't help you to not become her because she is her. She hasn't figured out how to beat this. How can she help you beat it? So she's not the right person to go to. You want to go to somebody who has beaten it, not Sarah. I do like the idea of them having a friendship. I just thought, no, Julie,
that was so brutally honest. Yeah. I don't want to be you.
No, I don't want to be you. It's like going to somebody in the middle of injecting heroin and going, so how do you beat addiction?
Yeah. Seriously, that's pretty bad.
Poor Sarah. I felt really sorry for Sarah in that scene as well, because it was just like, oh, let's just never let you forget for 1 nanosecond and let you do anything good.
I did too. I really like Sarah's character arc a lot. I think it's very realistic because she was somebody who was just really kind and very sensitive, and a lot of times in real life, those are the people that get hurt the most by the fucked up shit that happens to them.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really realistic, that as realistic as it can be for a show about a town that mind rapes you. But I think her character arc's been really realistic, and I like it a lot. She it kind of got a little annoying for me to a certain extent in, was it either, I think it was either season 1 or season 2. I was just kind of over it after a while, but I really liked her a lot in season 3.
She has a great season 3.
Yeah. Jazz, what about you?
Boyd's plan is terrible. That is such a bad plan. Like, even if they can trap it in a house, what then? You can't control it. You can't hurt it. They are stronger and faster and more deadly than the best case scenario. they find it asleep in one of the houses and tie it up. And then it wakes up and immediately breaks free of its bonds and kills everyone. So I don't see the point at all. I know we get that with Cautry's the Cautry scene in the next episode, but it just seems like a terrible plan.
This TV show we used to get, which is internet videos, people falling over, doing stupid stuff, and messing up and things, and it was narrated by Mr. T. And the repeated phrase that he would say is, you watch somebody try to climb up the outside of a building or whatever, he would go, "It was a bad plan." And so I just kept hearing that every time Boyd brought up. I could just hear Mr. T going, "It was a bad plan." I'll need to find
that show.
I need to find it. Oh no, see if it's on YouTube so I can show you it, because it's really funny.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. Now, I lied. So I have two problems with the writing in here, because I have a criticism about the writing for that very reason too. That is not, Boyd should not actually be thinking that that's a good plan. That is not something that Boyd should be coming up with. It makes zero sense. He knows better than that.
I think so too.
He just got gym brain for a moment. I think I even wrote that on my thumbnail for this episode when we covered it the first time.
Gym brain.
Boyd has gym brain. My number 2 was Donna. Bad timing, Donna. My God. Everything that this man has gone through, and you're going to make him feel worse? Oh, my God. Jill tried to comfort her.
This is my number 1, so we can. It's just the timing is the thing for me. Literally, what has just happened? Kenny has just found out. He's had to break that, and everybody's just watched Jade bring the body through the town, and that's when you're going to berate him for doing the wrong thing. Wait a while. Let him have a stiff drink and
after the funeral, maybe. Let him wash the blood off his clothes first.
And he told her to get back in the house. He tried to get her to go back in, but she insisted on helping him.
Even if you're a leader, you cannot control everybody else's actions. And if other people are going to sacrifice themselves, that's their decision. You can't be held responsible for that.
I kind of wish Jade had been there to have his back a little bit. Since Jade thought it wasn't a great idea, but he wasn't comfortable with it, but he very quickly went along with it and was right behind him.
It's crazy how that plan was so good. The monsters are so smart and so evil and so scary.
So that was my number 2.
And it was my number 1, so you can skip and go to Jazz's number 1 now.
My number 1 is the Radio Free Fromville broadcast. That was so hurtful. Everyone's just like, I can't stand the extra piling on Kenny. He's such a delicate little flower already. It hurt me emotionally. I just thought that was just truly one of the most diabolical things that's happened on the show, and it's so silly that it involves Cool and the gang. To take that seat and is just sitting there searching for comfort and trying to piece this together and handle his grief, and then fucking Celebrate comes on. Oh, it's so evil. It's so evil. It's so genius.
Those other dramas, they take pop hits and they float down. It's an acoustic version, and they do it sort of slightly minor, so it sounds really dramatic. And living on a prayer. Or this is what it showed. You didn't need to do that. Just the cheeriest, poppiest disco song, and in the right context, it's the most painful, evil thing you could ever hear.
Seriously,
100%.
Oh my God.
What was your number 1, Kelly?
The only thing worse that I could think of, it really was the perfect song. The only worst thing that I could think of would be maybe Tori Amos's Waitress. I want to kill this waitress. That was bad. No, my number one was Boyd's gym brain. And it wasn't just that it was such a bad idea, which I think it was a bad writing choice because Boyd that's not, he knows better. When he decided to, and we'll talk about this in the next episode, but when he decided to go with Kenny to the tunnels, he knew that was a bad idea, but he had a reason for it. He was trying to be there to support him, regardless of how bad of a plan he thought it was. This just made zero sense. It just, he knows that they're not people.
I wonder if it's a deliberate writing choice to show that what they did with Chen worked. It's broken his brain. It's not broken his spirit. It's broken his brain. So he's just thinking so desperately, I have to do something, that he's going to make mistakes and do things that are out of his normal range of that. And maybe that's why they've upped Donna shouting at him, because she can see he's going down a path that is not a good place and she wants to bring him back.
I can see that. That makes sense. All right, let's go to our top fives. John, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Julie in the dress. Oh, is it all my top 5 are actually heartbreaking, but in a good way.
Sarah?
Sorry, when I say Julia, I meant Sarah. Sorry. Names, menopause and names are not good.
Yeah, I'm terrible with the names.
When she sort of stopped herself mid-sentence, she just went, oh no, that was her favourite. And I thought, she was pulling herself out of that happy memory of Chen and the times they spent together. And again, it's about selflessness, that she, no matter what's going on with her, she was able to be in that moment, remember the happy time she had with her, and do something nice for Chan Chen, knowing that she's not going to get a good reception from you, but still wanting to do it for her. And I just thought it was so sweet. And it's so often at a funeral, it's the daughter who has to pick out a nice dress for the mother to wear. And I thought that was just a lovely reminder of the connection they had before everything went awful.
It has to be so hard for her. She's responsible for Tian Chen's husband, but they did have a very close relationship, and deeply cared about each other, and she does still deeply care for her, and it has to be an awful place to be absolutely excluded and not wanted in any part of that. Just having to be fully alone to process her grief.
And Tian Chen kicked her out of the diner.
Mm-hmm.
She told her to never come back there. And so I really, like, Sarah showed a lot of strength. And she really came through, and she didn't make it about herself. She was very selfless about it. And I really liked that. When characters have these downward spirals, it can either go really good or really bad. Mm-hmm. And in season 2, I was leaning more toward, I was getting a little sick of it with Sarah, but in season 3, we saw her accepting a lot of it, being more accepting, and I thought it was really effective. I thought I really enjoyed watching her just do the best she can to get through life with everything that's happened, and with people hating her. I liked it. Jazz, what about you? What's your number 5?
My number 5 is, we already talked about it a little bit, but Jade holding Tian Chen's hand. I didn't cry this time, but a memory of watching it the first time is still really, like, I sobbed through this whole episode the first time I watched it, and in that moment in particular just hits so hard because it changed his life, and she gave him a home, and they had such a special relationship, and knowing it could have been any of them, and in that to end up in the barn with Boyd and it being her. And I said this when we originally discussed the episode, but she is the person that they could lose that would hurt everyone the most. And she's connected to everyone in the town, and the loss of that relationship for Jade is so sad, and that moment is so beautiful. I really love that they included it, that he just wouldn't leave her until someone else came.
And that's the same thing that he said about his grandmother too. He didn't want to leave her. Because he didn't want her to be alone.
Him and Christy working together is just that whole everything about that is I loved.
I know. I love watching that scene with them, and then just remembering him coming on to her in the first episode.
My number 4 was Christy following Kenny into the diner and just providing silent support, just being there to sit there with him. It was so nice. Everything's so complicated in the show, just with relationships, and they've never really talked about the fact that she admitted that she had feelings for him the moment that her girlfriend showed up. They've not really dealt with that at all, and he's been through all this tragedy since, and she still has feelings for him, and she still wants to be there for him. And it's like their relationship is so complex, and a lot of it is unspoken, and it was just nice that they had that moment, even though there wasn't anything she could really do or say, or just her being there was so beautiful for him.
It was really sweet. She just sat there. She didn't try to give him any unwanted words of wisdom or whatever. She just sat there silently, and I love that. Just to let him know that she was there.
That is what you were speaking about, Jade, reminding you of Daryl and Carol, but it was actually that scene. I was watching it thinking about Daryl and Carol in season 2 in The Walking Dead, when Daryl went and sat in the RV after Sophia walked out the barn, and he just sat there with Carol, sat there with her in her grief. And I think that is one of those things that a person can do for somebody else that is so loving, is just to sit there in silence and take however long it takes. And I think what Jazz was saying about their relationship, about Kenny and Christy's relationship, it is so complex that it is that they are friends first and foremost, and that she thinks of him as her friend, and whatever else is going on, that's what she wants to be for him. And as I said in the MVP, she's basically holding everybody together in this episode.
Absolutely. There's real love between them, and regardless of their relationship status, I like that still wins the day.
It's so funny. There's a group of these characters who, there are a lot of shows where the ensemble is they're supposed to be a family unit that just came together, like The Walking Dead, but you actually really feel that way with this show,
because they show it. They show why. A lot of shows skip over the whys and the hows, but you really see how everybody's connected to everybody else. They have those scenes with each other. Obviously, Lloyd is going to have the most scenes with Ellis or whatever, but then you also see his connection to Donna and Christy and Kenny. And I think that's what this show does so well, is that it balances all the interactions across the groups of different people. And even, Boyd with Fatima, we see how they are connected. They never skip over an assumption and go, they live in the same place, so they like each other. No, they make sure to show us they do, and why, and what connects them.
Absolutely.
So my number 4 was Julie calling out Jim. Because in season 1, there was so much, and I said a lot of stuff about it too. People were really just perplexed. They're like, why is Julie? I think people just wrote it off as her just being a moody teenager. They're like, oh my God, why is she like that? And I like that they finally gave us an answer to why she was just so bitter toward her parents about everything. And I loved that she stepped up and called him out, because honestly, I think Julie has been a better parent than Jim.
Literally. She has done more to keep Ethan alive than Jim has.
She really has. And so that was much appreciated. I liked them filling that in for us. And it changed a lot of people's opinions about Julie after that scene.
It made me a Julie stan, for
Yeah,
sure.
that was a big turning point for her. Dawn, what is your number
3? It's we touched on it already, is the Jade with the Chan Chen, but it's specifically the end of the scene where they've redressed her body and given her that dignity. And I just loved the way that they flipped the emotion from Jade saying about the lipstick. He's like, you put any more makeup on her, she's going to sit up and slap the lipstick out your hand. Had me laughing, and then 2 lines later or whatever, it's Jade saying to her, "You come with us. When we go, you're coming with us." And I was like, that was the scene that I was crying at when he said that. I was like, oh, couldn't help but cry. And I love that because that's real life, is that death, you are laughing and crying, you're laughing at silly stuff, and it makes it feel so realistic that they can have those moments of humor in this horror nightmare life, that they still have those moments of humanity, and both in terms of humor and laughter, and then his being so connected to her and reminding of that conversation that they had, and that he's promising she's coming with him wherever he goes. I just thought it was so beautiful.
I would love to get a Tian Shen ghost next season.
Me too. I'm very hopeful that we get that.
That would be great. It would be interesting if they had her appearing to both Kenny and Jade, and she was speaking Cantonese to Kenny, and she was speaking English to Jade. That would be interesting, because she always spoke very broken English. But if Jade is talking to an imaginary Tian Chen, I think she'd be talking in English, most likely. I don't think he'd be like, I don't think he speaks Cantonese. He doesn't speak Cantonese. He said before he has no idea what she's saying. But that would be really interesting. Jazz, what's your number 4?
My number 4 was the Kenny and Boyd scene. Just a heartbreaker. We've spoken at length about how incredible the performances are in this episode, but getting through that. The fact that I think Boyd knew that they weren't going to do Kenny's plan. I think he was just humoring him as much as he needed to get him through the moment. But the fact that he was willing to, and just like, if this is what you want to do, let's do it. Their relationship is so great. The way that they're all family, and they all just care for each other. So like, I wouldn't say he cares for Kenny more than his own son, but he definitely cares for Kenny as a son. And he was ready to go die with him if that's what Kenny needed to process his grief, which doesn't seem like a great plan. But most of them probably aren't processing things the best at the moment.
Definitely.
That scene was really beautiful. It just, every moment of that scene was so well written and acted, and sticks with me as I've been just processing the episode throughout the day.
I really love Kenny and Boyd's relationship. I loved the things that, like the episode, I think it was in season 2, where Kenny just dropped what he was doing and just walked away from Boyd because Boyd wanted to go out into the woods. And he was pissed because Boyd's like, he doesn't want to lose Boyd. It's just stuff like that. I love their relationship. He really is Boyd's second child.
I thought it would have been so easy choice, obvious choice, if Tian Chen had just been saying, I love him, and tell my son I love him. But I loved that they've had that extra bit of them saying, take care of him. That was just made it extra special, because it was like Tian Chen was just like that. Boyd was thinking of her, and she was thinking of her son, and not in a way of, oh, my son, but more, what do I need to tell him? What does he need to, and what she needed to have, to know that somebody else was looking out for him and he's not alone. Just so beautiful.
And Ricky, he's acting in that scene was so great.
Incredible.
Just the way he responded when he heard, before you knew what it meant, when Boyd said that to him, when you saw it hit him, and it just felt so real. It's like, he broke down and explained what it was that she'd said. It was such a great scene. So my number 3. Wait, we're at 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought so. My number 3 was just everything with Miranda's paintings.
Mhm.
We did a whole episode before season 3 started with Anthony from the movie blog, where we dissected all of the art from the drawings to Miranda's artwork. And it's crazy how much stuff is in there. And there's stuff in there that we haven't seen yet.
Mhm.
But I'll put a link up to that video if you guys want to check it out. There should be a link popping up right now. So go click on that if you want to watch that later. By the way, if you watch more than one of our episodes in a row, that helps us out so much with the algorithm, and we're struggling right now. So go check out our artwork of From episode. But yeah, it was so cool. When the trailer came out, I think everybody pretty much figured out that was Victor's dad.
Mhm.
And just because of
It is great casting.
Mhm.
for sure. But what I think all they had him saying in the trailer was, I think you're here for what's in the basement. I think that's the only thing he said in the trailer, but that was enough to make people think, oh, he's connected to Victor. This has got to be his dad. And it's just the fact that when she gets out of Fromville, she ends up at his house
Mhm.
is just wild. But then you see all of this stuff. It was fascinating. And it's crazy to me that this show is so good that something as major and exciting as that isn't my number 1. Any other show, that should be it. That should be like, holy crap, this is one of the best things I've ever seen. And it's not even the best thing about this episode, in my opinion. It's just one of the best. The show is that good.
It really is.
Dawn, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is Kenny shouting at the house. Oh, when he finds
Oh,
out.
yeah.
No, I don't think any show has done that so well. When somebody loses a parent, they often show them crumpling to the ground or whatever. But the fact he was standing outside the house just shouting, "Mom," and everybody's trying, and he's like, "No, get off me." It was so like a child standing outside your house calling for your mom. Can I stay out? Can I get a drink? Can I get money or whatever?
Yeah.
It's such a perfect thing of when your parent dies. When my dad died, I called him Daddy for the first time since I was little. Second, I didn't think about it. I just went Daddy, and it made me think of that. It made me think of the way when your parent dies, you just go back to being 5 years old. And in that instant, and he depicted it so well, but obviously the writing too allowed him, and the direction allowed him that space, because it went on for a little bit that he's going, "Mom, Mom," absolutely broke my heart, but in the best way, that it delivered exactly what you want it to deliver when a big character like that dies.
It was I think I compared it to this before when we covered it for the first time, but it reminds me of Get Out with what was the main character's name? I forgot. It's been so long since I've seen that. Chris, when he was a kid and he was watching TV
Mm-hmm.
and he just wanted to stay in that moment watching TV because as long as he stayed in that moment, nothing bad had happened to his mom was fine. And it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. And it's like I feel like that was kind of Kenny's way of he can't process something like that immediately. So he's just gonna be yelling her name until he finally realizes, no, this is really happening. It's done.
She's not coming out of that house. That's that weight that you think maybe there's a chance she'll walk out the door.
Right. No.
It was like when my dad died, I think it was about 4 months or so later. I was looking for all of my important papers, like my birth certificate and everything. And I found it, and it was in an envelope marked Kelly's birth certificate. and I recognized my dad's handwriting. And it was just like, it was so weird. 4 months after he died, it's so weird seeing that. Wait, he's dead. This is really surreal right now. But it was Ricky. He's so good. He really is. I love him.
Mhm.
And he's unfortunately in a show that is just stacked with crazy talented actors. And so I don't think he gets as much credit as he should get.
Absolutely. Rolling into my number 2, every performance in this episode is Emmy worthy. Every person is so good, and there's so many small moments, like the moment with Ethan and Donna, where she catches on immediately that he's not okay, and she's like, Chen Chen loved you, like, you don't have to feel like he's just. There's so many small moments of just 2 characters experiencing grief together. Everybody, Scott McCord as Victor, flipping out, able to process it, just running out of the house, not wanting to have to deal with Julie and Ethan's grief on top of his own grief. Julie and her dad, incredible scene. Every single thing that he did in this episode, I really just want to shout out the entire cast. It's a beautiful piece of ensemble work that I honestly think should have won awards this year.
Absolutely.
What an incredible episode.
So many
It was better even than I remembered it when I just went back and rewatched it today. I was like, wow, fuck. This show is so good.
Same. So what's your number 2?
That was my number 2. Just the performances. Okay. There's just in general of everyone. Okay.
All right. So my number 2 was the scene with Jade and Tian Chen, and just holding. He just sat there holding her hand, and he said he didn't want her to be alone. It was so sweet. And again, and I already said it this episode, and I'm going to say it again. Well, I didn't make the comparison this episode that I usually make to it. And that is that Tian Chen bringing him the tea, in my opinion, was kind of The Walking Dead's Glenn talking to Rick in the tank.
Oh, yeah.
That I put that on the same level, because Jade is so important to this show and to the story. He's one of Boyd's the main character, but Jade is one of the most important characters in the show. It's basically like him and Tabitha and Victor are the most important characters. And without her really reaching out to get through to him, I think Jade could still just be completely isolating himself and not talking to people and just being an asshole. And so I always make that comparison. But yeah, it was, I cried every single time I watched that. Just him holding her hand because he didn't want her to be alone. So sad. Dawn, what's your number 1?
In a way, similar to Jazz's, but it's a shout out to whoever, the physical special effects, who made Chan Chen's doll, the doll of her body. Because, wow, was that good. That was so
good.
And in every other show I've seen, they have these prosthetic, either just a face or a whatever body part. This was a whole body which they showed repeatedly in close-up, and made it a character. It was the character of Tian Chen. And to have the confidence in your abilities and in your crew, that your FX department is so good at this, that you can have multiple scenes in one episode where this prop essentially is where the heart of the episode is, and people have to feel emotional looking at that and know that they're going to pull it off, and they did. It's incredible. It just was brilliant. It felt, when he was carrying it, it felt it had the right weight of a body. That's often the big thing that's not believable. And we got her face so much, and a few times I was like, "Is it her? No, it's not. No, is it?" I really wasn't sure, and that's how good it was. And I don't think I've ever seen a show do a dead body of a main character so that you know it is them so convincingly.
It's
So
a beautifully done piece.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good number one.
Yeah.
Jazz, what about you?
Mine's number one, scene between Julie and Jim. We've talked about this at length, but I deeply relate to their parentification and how difficult that whole situation was for her to go through, and her finally just standing up for herself and being like, I've been parenting Ethan for 2 years and I cannot. My mental health is not in a place where I can continue to parent him, so you have to fucking do it. Like, you have to be the adult. It was just something really, like, I've not seen on television. It's not something that gets talked about. We place an incredible burden on our young women, especially oldest daughters, shout out there, to care for children that are not theirs, that they not even technically have the cognitive skills to understand the care that they need. And it's happening for all of time. But it's just nice to see her try to take back some of her agency and make a boundary. And as much as she loves her brother and she wants to help him, she cannot be his full-time caregiver because she is also still a child, and her development is severely arrested by the amount of trauma they've been through even before they got to Fromville. So it's not like it's helping. Like, he's telling her dad, I'm falling apart. You can't fall apart too. And it didn't even occur to him that he's like, Jim made me the angriest of any character ever in these first 2 episodes, with him taking off after Tabitha, because what if something happens to you?
Yeah.
And that's just it. Now Julie's just Ethan's parent now. That's not more of a concern to you as the adult.
Right.
Why?
And I want to compare this with, to complement the writing, I want to compare this with, so my 2 favorite characters in Walking Dead are Carol and Michonne. And they each have one thing that they did that was a horrible decision, but it wasn't just a horrible decision. It was completely out of character for them. And that's Carol killing the 2 people in the prison.
Mm-hmm.
That it was so out of character. Yeah. And Michonne going after Rick, leaving her kids in the middle of a war. Yeah. And don't even get me started on how dirty they did Michonne on the last episode. Don't even get me started. They really dragged her through the mud in that last episode, and it pissed me off. But I can't be mad at the characters because they were such out of character moments for them. It's not something that either Carol or Michonne would ever do. But this is Jim. This is who Jim is. Now,
yes.
And exactly. It's like Michonne leaves her kids in the middle of a war. You're just like, what the fuck are the writers doing? This makes no sense. Jim does it. Jim leaves his kids, and you're just like, I'm
classic Jim.
This is entirely a Jim thing. This is consistent. This is very Jim.
I want to see if I can find this really quick. I have all the notes from...
What were you going to say, Jess?
I just wanted to read this bit from my notes where I'm going extra hard on Jim because of my feelings for Jim, but it's actually from episode 1. But this is where Jim and Kenny find the little tree people and the cabins, and Kenny smartly reminds Jim that the sun is starting to go down and they should make their way back to the Talisman hut. Jim, with the confidence of a man who isn't leaving 2 small children behind with no parent should he disappear, says that they should just hang the talisman in one of the huts and stay here for the night. Kenny, like a very smart and capable person, says that they're going to bunk down there. They should look around and make sure that there's no surprises. Jim, the opposite, agrees.
I love it. So funny.
When fans hate a character for no reason, just because they disagree with them, it always annoys me because I'm like, a character like Jim, you are meant to think that, and the writing is good enough that you are meant to go, oh man, he's making terrible decisions. And I think people like overlook that. They
They
just go, oh,
really do.
yeah, he's just an annoying character. No, you're meant to think he's an annoying character.
But they went really hard on him with this season, though, because before season 3, you just thought he was a jackass, but he still seemed like a great husband and father. Until that time that he got all alpha male on Tabitha and was like, "Don't undermine me in front of our kids." I was like, but other than that, he always seemed like a good dad and father. He really loved his family. But then season 3 comes along and it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, what is your problem?
There's definitely one I wrote where Jim, man who's used to being catered to by society, he's just very entitled this season.
Seriously.
If the radio had worked two ways, Jim would have set up a podcast. Just saying.
Oh yeah. He would be the Joe Rogan of Fromville.
My front monsters, you're not taking enough testosterone.
If we took the vote away from women, this wouldn't have happened.
Oh man.
We love you, Ian Bailey. Great, you're a great actor.
So my number one was was the big scene. We talked about it so much already, so I'm not really going to say much, but the scene with Boyd and Kenny, it was just one of the greatest scenes of anything I've ever watched, and the acting was incredible, and it was just such a beautiful thing that he did for Kenny. How amazing. I think I started calling him Saint Boyd after this episode, because he's just such a perfect character.
I love that he's tying the rope around the tree and unwinding it. As you said, Jazz, he was totally prepared to go into that tunnel. He was the boy was all in. He wasn't just faking it. He was like, "Nope, we're going to do this until you decide this is a bad idea."
All right, so man, we've gone really long with this already, and it's because there's so much to talk about with the show.
This episode I thought was just so good, so good.
Seriously, but we are starting a new segment called From Debate Club. And I think I mentioned it in the beginning. But basically, before we started recording, we chose randomly. Well, I picked a scenario ahead of time. And we spun a wheel to randomly choose who was going to be the judge and who was going to defend which character. So that every time we do this, we may be defending a character that we think was totally in the wrong. So we spun the wheel, and I'm the judge. Dawn is representing Boyd, and Jazz is representing Donna. And so this is the little tiff they get into in the beginning. So I'm very sorry that you have to represent Donna. Jazz.
That's all right. All right.
Should we do it times 2 minutes or 1 minute or something to just give your
my general defense. I've been thinking about it, so
I would say, how about 90 seconds? Do you think 90 seconds is a good amount of time? All right, who wants to go first?
I'll let Jazz go first then, because
I'll go first because I'm wrong. So
all right, I'm about to start the timer. So, all right, you ready?
Yes.
Go.
Right. As the leader, it is Boyd's main job to keep people alive. And while that is very much in question because there is a food shortage, taking people out to rescue the animals is putting people in direct danger of death, as we saw happen with Tin Chen. That even though that wasn't Boyd's fault, knowing that he was going out after the animals meant there was other people who were going to follow him regardless. So it maybe should have been wiser for him to let them go and try to figure out what happens in the morning. It's really hard to argue because they are currently starving. And as Donna was just losing my shit about this yesterday. So I do see her point that he is, the main point is to keep people alive, and we did lose someone, and that's a terrible price to pay for everyone else not to starve, but I'm really not doing good at this. That's my opening point.
And you guys are right. I do think the impromptu choice is better because it's pretty funny. Donna. All right. You've got easier tasks.
I
this
do.
week. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll start
Okay.
it.
Go. It's all about thinking of the future and not in the moment. You're not, as Boyd, as leader, he's not doing it for who they are right now, but for how long can they last. And so it's more important that they have food and looking forward to the months ahead rather than whoever is there. They don't know when another carload, a bus load of people is going to turn up. So yes, somebody might die, and it's as I said, people have their own sense of agency, so they can, if they go out to help, that's on them. He didn't force anybody to do it. He didn't make them. It was their own decision, and they know the risks. Nobody is there blind to what's going to happen, and they knew how important the cows and goats and sheep are. So it was not his fault, and he did the right thing to try and protect their assets, which not monetarily, but in this case is food. And they had no other signs of what might come good, no other options other than meat. So it was the only thing they could. And who knows, if all of that hadn't happened, as we discussed last week, maybe all that food up at the lake might not have been there. It maybe only appeared.
This is hard. You know what? I'm actually going to give it to Jazz only because she had the harder job.
I don't feel good about that. I am wrong. I get where I do understand Donna's reaction. And that, first of all, they're all grieving. She had a relationship with Tien Chen, but she's literally doing the opposite thing of what she said yesterday, which was the most important. She was just screaming at him about food. Yeah. They have no idea these woods vegetables, they're coming. This fresh grocery store cabbage is sitting out in the woods right now. That cabbage is hilarious. If I've ever seen a cabbage grown. But it was just such a wild take for her to come at him like that. She didn't know what happened, even. He tried to send her back. I don't know.
I wanted to go on record, though. I wanted to go on record, though, that if Boyd had done something careless that resulted in Alma dying, then he would be on my shit list forever.
Instead of Alma got to chomp on some nice string.
No, I'm kidding. I always say that Boyd could shoot up the whole town, and I'd probably still defend.
They could have slaughtered all the animals if they hadn't come after them. They killed the one cow just to intimidate Jade. There's no telling, if they just wander off into the woods and it's a matter of getting them back or what. But that's extra manpower and extra food that you have to send people out to bring them back. It's a whole, preventing them from getting away is probably the most sensible thing you can do, to be honest.
That, by the way, that was one of the milk. I love that it was the milkman that killed the cow, by the way. I think it was Elizabeth Saunders, Donna. I think it was her that during the live tweet, during the episode, she said, her tweets are always really funny. I think she said something like, that's not how you milk a cow.
My knowledge of American culture clearly is lacking, because I kept writing him down as the ice cream man. The guy that serves ice cream. That the Dairy Queen man.
I mean, it's kind of, it's a very similar look. But the milkman killing Ginger right in front of Jade was actually one of the scariest things, because he was so close to Jade, right in his face, and just, it was so clear he had no intention of killing him. He just wanted to fuck with him by killing Ginger in front of him. And so that was terrifying.
You think these things eat fear in a similar fashion to it? Also, I said, do you think these things eat fear in a similar fashion like it? Because they never eat any of the bodies. They always just leave everything.
There is a very popular theory out there that I do not subscribe to it, but I do think it's really interesting. And it's a pretty popular theory that Frumville and from the entire show is secretly part of Stephen King's Macroverse. And there are a lot of things in the show that support it. It's a very sound theory. I personally just don't believe it because it would seem really weird, like that it wouldn't be advertised as that.
It's just hugely inspired by Stephen King. He is the king of this genre, so.
But there's just scary amount of similarities. So yeah, I plan on doing a video on that in December for Vlogmas. Sure. All right. Anything you guys want to add before we get out of here?
All good.
All right. Please make sure you like and subscribe. It helps us so much. Leave us a comment. I'm really sorry we haven't been as great about responding to comments lately. I'm still really struggling with my arm, but we read everything and we appreciate it so much. And we're really struggling and we want this channel to grow. So if you could please just like and subscribe and leave a comment, it would mean so much to us. And maybe watch another video after this one. We've got cast interviews. We interviewed Hannah Cherami, who plays Julie. We interviewed Elizabeth Moy, who plays Tian Chen. And we've got some Yellow Jackets interviews, etc. as well. So lots of stuff for you to check out on the channel. Also, we go live every Sunday night, right? We're covering It Welcome to Derry right now. So we're putting out our weekly recaps on that, but we go live every Sunday night to talk about the newest It Welcome to Derry episode, which is fantastic if you haven't checked it out. So check that out. And we will see you real soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.